Okay, the season's just about over. I told you I'd give you my reaction to the whole season. This is the New York Yankees 2021. All right, the wounds have healed. The heartbreak is over. The Red Sox are out, which is good for Yankee fans. They don't have to deal with we don't have to deal with them winning the World Series. Main goal of the season is for the Yankees to win the World Series, and then the second goal is for the Red Sox not to win the World Series. If you're a Red Sox fan, it's all in good fun. I'm not one of those. Not trying to be a vicious Yankee fan. Anyway, yeah, it was not very good. I had a bad feeling about the season right from the start. They were so streaky, and everybody was excited going into the playoff game with the Red Sox because the Yankees had been pretty hot, and they had but the problem is they're so streaky that every time they get hot, the cold streak's coming, because every time they went on any kind of a run, they would follow it with an equally bad run. They won 13 games in a row, and then they lost something like 9 out of 11 or something. The next 11 or 12 games, something like that. They lost like 9 or 10 out of 12, something like that. It was ridiculous. So I knew they were going to be in trouble if they didn't extend the streak, and they had already they won a decent amount just before the season ended, but like the last 4 or 5 games they had cooled off a little bit, and I was like, uh-oh. And sure enough, playoff game comes, wild card game, and they can't hit, they can't do anything, and Garrett Cole was awful. So there's nothing you're going to do about Garrett Cole, right? He was bad. Historically, he's been pretty good in the playoffs. Last year in 2020, he was very good in the playoffs, so we can't say he can't pitch in the playoffs. So I'm just going to chalk it up, bad game. What went wrong? I don't blame the manager. Everybody wants to blame Aaron Boone. And everybody's very angry that Aaron Boone is coming back he just signed a 3-year extension. I simply don't care. And you shouldn't either. If you're a Yankee fan and you hate Aaron Boone, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't hate Aaron Boone, because whoever is the manager is going to be the same as Aaron Boone. There's going to be no difference. There's going to be no change. All the decisions come from the top. I think the manager has input, sure, but as far as I know, as far as I can tell, and I know, from things I've heard, that from the top, even the daily lineups are made and given to him. He gets the lineup. He gets who's going to come out of the bullpen that day in what order. I mean, they don't let the manager really do anything. The manager for the New York Yankees has the least amount of power and the least amount of importance than it's ever had in the entire existence of baseball. I think that's true across all of baseball, pretty much. That's where it's all headed. The manager's there for managing the clubhouse, keeping people happy, and talking to the media. And then, like I said, having some input, but pretty much, if he has a philosophy or wants to go against something from the top, it's not going to happen. The top's going to say, no, you're going to do this. So the manager doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Aaron Boone, okay, you want to fire him? You're going to get somebody. It's going to be the exact same thing. That's why I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that he's back. Cashman, the GM, people want to see him go too. I understand he's had some free agent signings that are questionable. I can't argue that. But what I will argue is he does make trades, and he's very good at making trades. As far as I know, they didn't want to really spend too much money at the trade deadline, and the way the trades worked out, they still didn't increase their salary, the luxury tax hit too much, and they added Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo. Now, Joey Gallo was horrible. I understand that, and I'm not a big Rizzo fan, to be honest, but Gallo. He is what he is. Sometimes he goes on cold streaks, and he was on a cold streak pretty much right through. He batted under 200. It was bad. And that's what he does. Is he capable of 250? Sure. Is he capable of 45 home runs? Sure. And he got close to that this year. So he's still going to hit the home runs. But but at the trade deadline, I said they needed lefty power, and they got it. And Brian Cashman orchestrated those deals. So I'm not against Cashman. Free agents is kind of but trades, he's been phenomenal. Where do we go? Well, I think you need to have DJ LeMahieu play third base, and then when you want to give guys days off, you put Urshela at third, and then DJ could spell first base. He can play first and spell whoever's playing first, because I don't know if they're bringing Rizzo back or not, or Voit. And he could spell second base and spell Torres, and he could play second. In Urshela at third, and then Urshela can fill in for third or short. Now, as of right now, I think he is the shortstop, but I don't think that's going to stay. I honestly think they're going to sign somebody. I would love it to be Carlos Correa. Him and Corey Seager are kind of like the big signings that everybody's looking forward to. I would rather have Correa. Correa is definitely proven in the postseason. He's a very good postseason hitter. We need that because for some reason, our bats fall asleep in the postseason. And he's just a good player anyway. He's a good glove. Seager, and I know they're both kind of injury prone. I think Seager's a little more injury prone. I'm a little bit more leery of Seager coming over. Another thing too is going to a different league. I don't know how he'll react. Correa's been, obviously in the American League the whole time. So we'll have to see. I would prefer Correa, but it could end up being Corey Seager. But I do think they're going to bring in a shortstop. It may be somebody else I'm not even thinking of. But a shortstop's coming, which means somebody's out. And I think the person who's out is Urshela. But I do think Urshela's going to get plenty of playing time because he's going to be able to play third and spell guys. Or, of course, injuries. And the Yankees are having no shortage of injuries. So he might end up playing third or whatever for, maybe Torres or somebody gets hurt and DJ has to play second, or DJ gets hurt and he has to play third. Whatever it is, Urshela will get plenty of playing time. At catcher, I'm done. I'm done with Gary Sanchez. I defended Gary Sanchez. I was a fan of Gary Sanchez. But I can't do it anymore. It's time to move on. They need a defensive-minded catcher. Higashioka can continue to be the backup and catch Garrett Cole. I don't think he should be the starter. Every time he's ever started for an extended period of time, he gets exposed. He's not that good of a hitter. But in short spurts and game here or there, he can be productive. So I want a defensive-minded catcher with some pop, preferably, but even if not, even if it's just okay at the plate, but a defensive catcher, because we haven't had that. We got Higashioka. We think he's so great defensively. He's not. He's like an average defensive catcher, but when you're comparing him to Gary Sanchez, he's way better. So we haven't had a good defensive catcher in a long time. I want a defense-first catcher. And then we need an outfielder, and I think, because, first of all, you got to replace Brett Gardner because he's not coming back, and he better not come back. My God, please don't bring Brett Gardner back. Great career. I love the guy, but it is time to move on from Brett Gardner. I don't know what the love affair with Brett Gardner is. And you can't count on Aaron Hicks, right? Can't count on Aaron Hicks. So right now Hicks is the center fielder, but regardless, Brett Gardner is supposed to be the fourth outfielder. And I know Clint Frazier's still there and Andujar, but I think those guys are gone. And Frazier, his career might be over, sadly. He can't shake these concussions. So you need an outfielder. You need just the body of Brett Gardner needs to be replaced with somebody else. That's all it is, and with the same role or a similar role, because or make Hicks the fourth outfielder. Maybe he'll stay a little healthier and bring in somebody to play center. That might actually be better. And the guy I'm kind of thinking of is Cashman actually said they're going to be looking towards guys that are more on-base, contact-oriented guys, don't strike out as much. Because they got too many of those guys. And I know he's not available, and he's probably not going to be the guy to do it, but I'm thinking like a Michael Brantley type of player. Michael Brantley will give you a 280 to 300 batting average, decent on base, provide you some pop, in the home run department, teens, 15 or so, give you a few steals, and just a good, solid player. A contact, or he doesn't strike out a ton. That's who we need, a guy like that. So whoever, if you can get a Michael Brantley type, plug him into center, make Aaron Hicks your fourth outfielder. And I don't know what you're doing with Gallo. I probably wouldn't bring Gallo back, or I try to trade Stanton. We don't need Gallo and Stanton, one or the other. And it's probably going to be Stanton. And to be honest, they might bring Gallo back. I hope not, though. Judge is Judge. He was awesome. He's the best player on the team. For the pitching staff, I think we need one more big starter. You're going to have Severino and you're going to have Cole. Those are your two big guns, Cole first. But, look at the Dodgers. They didn't even make it, but they have three stud pitchers. Actually, their whole pitching staff is a bunch of studs. But, they have superstars in Kershaw and Buehler. And then Scherzer they added. Those are three ridiculously good starters. Two Hall of Famers for sure. And the way Buehler's going, he might be on his way. He's younger though. We need a third guy, on that level. So you need a Cole, Severino, and another guy who's right there with them. Maybe not. You can't get another Garrett Cole, obviously, but you can get another Severino. Sure, you can get another Severino. Got a good guy, high strikeouts, ERA, low threes, win 15 games for you. Those guys are obtainable. You can get one of those guys. And then you fill in the rest of it. You got Montgomery. I don't think, if you were hoping Montgomery was going to blossom into some big, I think this is who he is. And that's fine. Everybody needs a Jordan Montgomery, an innings eater. He's a lefty. He's fine. I don't know what's going on with Tyone. I would love to bring Tyone back. And there you go. You sign somebody for the three spot. You bring Tyone back for 4. And then Montgomery's your 5th. And then you've got other guys to fill in. You got Davey Garcia down the minors. You've got options for injuries. That Gil guy, whatever his name is, Gil. He was really, really good. So I think we have options at the pitching staff. In the pitching staff, if we get one more stud guy. For injuries, for a 6th starter here and there, no more bullpen days. As for the bullpen, I think it's not that bad. I think it's pretty good. I would love to upgrade from Chapman at the closer spot, but I don't know if we can do all these moves I'm thinking of. So we might have to stick with Chapman again, but he might lose the job next year. It might be a little while ago. But I don't mind the bullpen. If you want to add one more piece, fine. But if you want to add a closer, that'd be fine. Trade Chapman and get somebody else. I would take that in a heartbeat. But that's it. That's your Yankees season in review and your outlook for 2022. I didn't have any graphics or anything crazy going on here. I was just wanted to talk to you fan to fan. And I will see. Oh, real quick. I was going to say I'll see you later to end this. But real quick, I'll just let you know. I'm definitely going to give you an off-season reaction to certain moves that make. Once the moves start coming in and the roster starts to take shape, I'll have a reaction video out for that as well. So until then, I will see you later.